Hi, welcome to this video. Now, you've clicked on it, so you know what it's about. I just felt like making a video about something that hopefully could, be relatable for people and could also encourage some people and just affirm for some people. I'm eating these things, I call them smunchies. I mean, I don't know what their real name is, but they're ubiquitous in China. You might have seen them if you've been to China. They just sort of spit out of this machine. Um, I guess they're made of corn or something like that. They're not very expensive, and yeah, a big bag of them is like very cheap, and that kind of leads on to today's topic. I was talking to a friend on WeChat, another foreign guy, and this guy, that's his name, this guy, he has been in China 18 years, and his lifestyle has been mainly about travel, and it's been about enjoying China as much as possible. And he hasn't been able to save any money. Like he has, but as soon as he saves it, he sort of he then spends it again. And it just made me think, like, how many of these people are there out there, and are they happy with the decisions they've made? I guess it's hard to say. Like, there's always going to be people who say, well, great, you've got a lot of money, but I've got memories. And there's going to be people on the other hand who are like, um, well, I've got a lot of money, or I saved a lot of money. And it's very easy to sort of start coming at this kind of stuff from a position of righteousness or self, like the ego, I guess, and looking at it in that way, like, look at me, aren't I fantastic? Like, hasn't this validated my approach to life, or hasn't this validated my way of using my resources? And I guess at the end of the day, like, money is a resource, and it's something that we manage, whether we manage it well or we manage it not so well. It's just another resource. So yeah, I don't want to sound like preachy or get into people's private lives, and people's finances are their private lives, but I guess what I want to say is, like, if there's anyone in the comments who's been in this situation, like who has lived in China for a long time, or they've lived in a foreign country for a long time, working, but maybe they have worked to travel, and they've worked to experience stuff, and spending money hasn't been a big deal for them. They've just enjoyed. And look, like, if you're happy to work, and you can work, you have kind of found the secret to financial success, because you can just keep working. Like, there's nothing wrong with that. That's what most people do. Not everybody is interested in the fire movement, or being a part of the fire movement, or something like that, And you're certainly, in my view, not a bad person if you're not interested in either retiring early or just getting a whole bunch of money together. It's a totally separate issue. Totally separate issue. But what I would say is, and this is, like, I guess I'm trying to speak to someone in their 20s, someone who's relatively young, is like, if you can save just a little bit of money every month, that will make a big difference. And there's always that mental, that narrative that's playing, that record that's playing in your mind, where you're kind of like, all my friends are broke. How can I be different? Like, why would I be any different? Like, why should I even try? Or it could be like, well, my parents always struggled, or always had it tough. Like, that's just who I am. Like, that's a part of me. And yeah, like, you meet people sometimes, and they say stuff like, you know what, easy come, easy go. Or I spend my money and I just go off, and I'll make more money when I don't have any. Like, you get these cool guys. And yeah, it's easy to sort of fall into that trap and think, well, live for the moment, carpe diem, carpe noctem. Enjoy life because you don't know when it's going to end. I mean, you don't know when it's going to come to an end. I mean, you don't know when your time is up, and this kind of attitude is very prevalent. And look, there's three there's three there's three.
I didn't get that.
Fuck
Could you
off!
try again?
Fuck off, Siri. Did you get that?
I won't respond to that.
Yeah, well, you can fuck off, mate. Sorry about that, Siri. Yeah, I mean, look, there's three ways to become wealthy, and one way is to inherit a lot of money, which is the easiest way. So if that's you, then congratulations. That's not me. The second way is to be really, really, really good at something, and be the best. And again, that's not really me. And the third way, of course, is to have a business. When you're like an average person, like someone who's making money as like a wage earner, like an English teacher or a policeman or a dentist assistant or whatever it is, you're not necessarily going to be able to get those big pieces of money. But that's not what we're talking about here. We're talking about people like ourselves. And what I would say to anybody who's like 25 or 30 or whatever, they've come to China, don't think that it's for 1 or 2 years. It might be, but it might not be. It's so easy just to like sign another contract. I just met a lady and got my visa extended, or she's going to extend it this week or next week. I brought her my residence paper and my expert permit and my passport. She was waiting for me at the light rail, and I just put it in the basket of her electric bike, and I just got up on the escalator and just left. I like Smunchies. They're good. Have to find out what their real name is. But yeah, it's so easy to do that and just keep on going, keep on going, keep on going. You know, and that might be you. So if you don't like get struck by lightning, or you don't get abducted by aliens, or whatever you think's going to happen to you, or you don't die instantly after a night of drinking, or have a heart attack at the age of 33, or get nailed to a cross, or whatever it is. If none of those things happen to you, are you going to have enough money? And if the answer is yes, because my great uncle invented a special type of fishing reel, and he's put me down as his heir, and I'm going to inherit $15 million, and I'm going to do this and I'm going to do that. Great. Live your life like that. You know, if that's who you are, if that's what your life is, your financial life is just waiting around for people to die, do that. You know, that's up to you. But if you're kind of like, okay, well, I'm 30 now, I'll be 40 in 10 years. What is an amount of money that I would kind of be like, I'm glad I saved that money, you know, like I'm happy I have that money now. And if you go to a bar, you'll hear people and they'll kind of say, oh yeah, you know, but there's no point saving money, man, because like in 10 years, that money's not going to be worth anything. Well, look, as someone who's almost 40 years old, I'll tell you something. When I was 11 or 12 years old, 13 years old, $100,000 was a lot of money. And when I was 20 years old, $100,000 was a lot of money. And today, right now, 2022, $100,000 is a lot of money. Okay, so it doesn't matter. It doesn't change that fast. Money doesn't change its value that quickly. And the thing is, look, let's get real talk time. Okay, so let's say you're 30 years old now. You're 10 years down the track, you leave China. You've got $50,000, or let's say $100,000. So you've managed to save that much money, which is great. You can get a job in your country, and you can walk into any bank in your country, and you can say, I'm making... Yeah, these Smunchies, they're a bit crumbly, actually. Better have another sip of tea. And I think there are people watching who know where I'm headed with this. You know, you can walk into a bank and you can say, look, I'm making $4,000 a month. I'm wearing a name tag. I'm a shit kicker, whatever it is. But I've got that chunk of money and I want to buy a house. Okay, so you want to buy a real asset, an asset that a bank would view as a credible asset. Okay, there you are, sir. There's $500,000 because this is what we do. You know, whatever you do, this is what we do. We give people money to buy things. Now, great, look at you now. You know, you're 40 years old, maybe you've got a woman, maybe you've got a family, whatever it is, but you've got that asset. Now, if you didn't save that money, you wouldn't have it, all right? And $100,000 divided by 10 is $10,000. $10,000 divided by 12, I think of this in Australian dollars. Well, what is it? I'll get my phone out just so I'm careful about it. I think it's going to be 800 something, isn't it? 10,000 divided by 12. Yeah, it's 833. So, you know, you've got to save that much money. 4,000 RMB a month, and you'll have that. Now, that's what it is. Now, do you want to save more than that? Great, you know. But just as a basic sort of number, yeah. And also, guys, like I think it's mainly guys watch my channel. I mean, there might be one or two girls, but I don't think there's a whole coven of them all. That's not the word for a group of girls. It's another word, isn't it? But you know, look, if you're a guy and you're hoping to get married or you're hoping to start a family, if you come along to that relationship and you sort of say, I mean, no money, no honey. We've all heard of that, haven't we? If you come along to that relationship, she's got a good job, she's a manager in a call center, she's a podiatrist, whatever it is, and you sort of say, well, I've got this, you know, okay, you've ticked another box, you know, a great route, tick, nice guy, tick, mum and dad like him, tick, not totally broke, tick, okay, so, you know, the whole relationship might not be about that, but it's always a factor, you know, that's the thing, it's always a factor. And I'm not here to tell people how to live, and I hope you've enjoyed the video, and I hope I've come at it in the right way, but that's all I wanted to say, and yeah, please leave a comment below about your own savings experience in China. I would appreciate it.